Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs, to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who were the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness, by giving, will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to and you possess. Otherwise you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul And we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand, to be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle. Which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 415th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace, here on Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the Public Teachings in English. My name is Rick Cremond, and I'll be host once again in this continuous series of weekly workshops. Once again, I have Mark as co-host. Thank you, Mark, for being here. And of course, we're joined with all the members and support members of the Universal Council who are here to present the program. And just let me get that program ready here. And we will begin.
Thank you, Rick. Hopefully we can switch back to that background as well, because I'm seeing a light at the end of the tunnel, in a way, as they say. We're being gifted a beautiful system to operate in. So I want to thank everyone for being here and supporting and building the One Planet Nation. And I always wondered, would the nations just instantaneously drop their borders and their names and become one planet, one nation, and the rest? I don't think so. I think as we heard, we're going through a transition, and part of this transition is to create in a way, a virtual reality of one planet, one nation, one race, and it's called the game of peace and enlightenment. And as Mr. Keshe said, if you don't understand the one planet, one nation, one race, play the game of peace and enlightenment. And of course, it's all about finding peace within yourself. Again, rather elusive, but we're approaching it, and we're learning so many things, or unlearning some of the things we thought we knew in this whole process. So yes, we're going to be part of a separate club, and this is what we're setting up. And as you play the game, and see that you can share and you can get energy drinks. I was even thinking earlier, perhaps these energy drinks will be used in future play. If you'd like a pineapple drink, you won't get the pineapple, you'll get the energy of the pineapple drink, or cranberry or orange or whatever you'd like. So perhaps it'll be the same with the books of wisdom and the books of knowledge if you're seeking knowledge in certain areas. So again, it's more of a virtual reality, but we've been gifted the whole infrastructure to support it and to continue building it. It's just in its infancy. And if it's your wish to see peace, we thank you, and continue to support the foundation and its work to bring this. Again, it's not the end of the process. It's just the next step to get to a bigger dimension, which is probably more interaction with the universal community. So thank you all. And again, opening up things we thought we understood, like the Rick with the placenta, or this idea, this Pandora box of the twin soul. And apparently we all have one, or maybe even more than one. I'm not sure. But many things being opened up, and we're very privileged and humbled to be here, and just to be able to start to accept and implement some of this universal knowledge in the dimension of energies and matter state as well. So thank you all. And again, it's up to you to investigate and understand this knowledge in a way for yourself. But I think we're being also gifted other ways of, like in the transmission sessions, to be able to, in a way, as he said, we understand this emotion of greed. We know its frequency. We know its strength. And we know its cosmic ray energy. And we know how to deal with it. And so this is one of our, I guess, emotions that has to be dealt with, as we're one of the only creatures or created beings that have this emotion of greed. So there's a lot intertwined with everything. And as he said, we need a combination of many things to bring the whole process. It's just not one thing. It's just not the game. It's just not this or that. As he said, the Mark Rake operation, the new Magrav systems, the Keshe coin, of course, is going to bring peace and balance to the whole structure. But again, it's for us, and we thank you for supporting it and for setting it up. And again, we see a light at the end of the tunnel. And of course, this is part of the ethos. Remember, we're delivering a new science, a new ethos, and a new language on this planet. And of course, we know the science is about meeting that this is where science meets the soul of the man, but it's also about the science of creation and the way things are done in the universe. And we're just being shown, as we saw in China, a public demonstration about creation. But as Mr. Keshe said, it's about finding peace first within yourself. And if you're not peaceful, perhaps play the game of peace and enlightenment. I've heard from other knowledge seekers that as they play the game, and I felt it myself, there's an aspect of peace that comes into this gameplay. And there's actually a document that we have called the World Peace Treaty, and this will become more popular as we go through this period now where, as Mr. Keshe said, there were helicopters going overhead, and this is not a good sign. Perhaps war, even though we're hoping and peace will be the winner, but we have an actual document that you can sign and endorse in the matter state. Or if it's your wish to see peace, then just join us and just affirm it within your own central energies that this is your wish and you're working towards that within yourself and also collectively. So that's what it's about. It's not the end all, but it's just the next step to get to the next step in the entire process. Yes, I think this is a type of, if you want to call it a paper reactor, but it has far-reaching implications. And again, many aspects, as Mr. Keshe said, this is much deeper, and this is what we're finding as we're in and around the knowledge more, that it just continues to go deeper and deeper, as he said, with the twin soul and some of the other things that maybe we're not ready for. But it was certainly a beautiful opening to the idea of the placenta or the this twin. Again, we're just opening up to this idea that we're part of a much bigger structure. And of course, that structure is peaceful or is becoming peaceful. Maybe the universe isn't perfectly peaceful because, as he said, this is a nursery of souls, and some of these souls have spread this idea of killing and stealing and greed across the universe. And this is why we need to sort of quench it at the source. And of course, this is not the only nursery in the universe. So unfortunately, there are other nurseries in the universe. And perhaps this is part of the whole process where the creator is going through a remodeling process. But the frequencies and the love will be sort of transmitted, perhaps even through this document you endorse, or for sure through the One Nation Network and the other ways we have of working through the energy dimension for the elevation of souls, if I could put it that way. But again, I know very little. I'm just talking because I've just chosen to welcome you all today and to do this little part here. And again, we're all on a journey trying to get back to that where we're perfectly, in a way, in balance. And apparently we can achieve this as we're made in the image of the creator. And so we're sort of replicating that emotion and that behavior. But again, what it means to me may be different than what it means to you. But we're all on these sort of individual and collective journeys to reach that permanent peaceful condition within ourselves, within our planet, and of course within the universe. So there's still some work to do. I don't think anyone has gotten there other than perhaps the creator and Mitra. Even the universal community, as we know, if they have physical bodies, they suffer from some of the same emotions that man suffers from. So again, we're just trying to balance this out in one of the best ways, as he said, this ethos of Mitra, the thinking, speaking, and acting good. But only you can, as I see it, apply it to yourself. But I think we're going to get a little help from our friends or certain systems that are being created to sort of tame these emotions of unpeacefulness and change it into a peaceful and giving structure. So step by step, collectively, we're all moving into a more permanent, peaceful condition. Whether it takes a year, a day, a month, but it usually in the creation process, it does take a bit of time to manifest. As we saw in Beijing, the material just didn't appear when the reactors were turned on. Of course, they were obsolete reactors. Maybe the new ones we start to see material, as again, he mentioned the 3D printing of copper cups, which that material enhancement unit would actually be able to generate its own copper within its own structure. So there's some very beautiful things that are happening in so many different dimensions, but it's part of a bouquet that's being put together, and you're all part of that, and we're all part of that. So hopefully, again, those who want to operate in the matter state and continue, they will. But eventually they'll find out that moving into this one nation network, life becomes less harsh. And this is the idea that no one goes to bed cold and no one goes to bed hungry. So thank you. Anyone else want to add to this World Peace Treaty? Feel free.
Yes, thank you, my dear Mark. How beautifully you said. So beautiful. I want to add that signing the peace treaty, World Peace Treaty, forward in this path of peace, growing with it, understanding all the conditions, understanding the true self, me. And then a beautiful soul says that, and then in came in this game of peace and enlightenment, dear one. And the beautiful soul says, we are just one being, and we understand that now. Our experience differ as we see through our physical eyes. To understand the Maya, the illusion, we have infinite hands to deal with infinite situations all together at once on this planet. And the result? One being in action. So, sign the peace treaty, beautiful souls. Understand how one being is in action and how we are all together, always from yon. Just we have to remember. And this peace treaty, this game of peace and enlightenment, come, welcome in this game. You will understand. Well, actually, our timeless true self, my dear beautiful soul. Sign with your soul pen, sign with your pen, sign with love, sign with peace, sign with all that is in existence. Thank you. Thank you, Mark.
We're
my
not
dear.
going to twist
Salam.
their arm to sign it, are we, Shweta? I think we're just going to change the fields and
No.
they'll be more than willing. They'll say, this is one of the best ideas I've ever heard of, all of a sudden.
No, so welcome. Of course. Of course, beautiful souls. It's your heart and soul to decide everything. And this is the time. Thank you. Thank you so much. Salam. Namaste. Salute, dear beautiful soul.
Okay, well, Mark mentioned the New Enlightenment game, and we have an excerpt from the 626 Knowledge Seekers Workshop, and I'll play that now, about the game of peace. Our background image here is from the game of peace. Okay, I will share that excerpt now. It's about 6 minutes. I'm not hearing any sound in this video.
I'm not either. But one of the things I like about the game and what we're going to hear, you don't need a passport to travel. I really enjoy not having to check in with customs and filling out paperwork and the rest. Of course, it's just a game, my first game I've ever played, and maybe I'm a bit impartial, but I think we're just getting a taste of what we'll see in reality in the coming time. So continue to play the game, earn the points. Everything will change as of March 21st. It'll go official. And one of the things I was thinking, and there'll be quite a bit of a need for wallets. Okay, you got it? Great.
I'll have to see where the audio starts on this. It's part way into it.
But I was thinking, if we can play the game and earn some coin, he said there's capability to earn. So perhaps we can gift wallets to people in a way under the sort of general obligation that if you've been gifted a wallet, you'll play the game over 3 or 4 months and gift a wallet to someone else. And we can see how that could grow exponentially.
Okay, I've got some audio here and 3 minutes into the video, so I'll play that, see how that goes.
Everybody having exactly the same thing. I don't need to change it. But my 2 coins in Africa buys me luxury, education, everything else. And if I buy in America, I still pays 2 coins and gets 1 tablet. Then you understand how things will change. We need these leaders to bring man to the position of change. Estimated 42,000 people lost their lives in the past week in one event. Why? And then other idiots are going to bomb them to free them, killing another 100,000, 200,000. Since when killing has brought more freedom? Ask Mr. Trump. Drop 1 bomb on his own house in Florida and see if he likes it. Whose children is he going to kill? The root of living on this planet has to change, and we are on that course. Then you understand what leaders are that we need and where we're going. If we force it, it's from outside. If you bring it and you do it yourself, that's your job. And we are relying on the greed of the man. The greed of the man makes man peaceful, so it's a good greed. Try to understand the teaching of today. I have given you the secret of creation, but how to do it is the matter where man cannot do. As long as the president like Trump exists, man cannot tap to this knowledge, as these souls are evil in the dimension of creation. They use it under cover of damaging the soul of the others. Those leaders who kill have stand the same position shall not be given this knowledge, as they will use it to harm more. This is why we brought the game of peace. This is why you play the game of the peace, to understand the knowledge comes through the dimension of the creation for peace, and not to the gun policy and the religion policy of one to the other.
Okay, that's our excerpt about the game of peace from the 626th Knowledge Seekers Workshop. Okay, our next part are the wishes, and I'll remind our audience here, our attendees, that we'll have a full minute of silence to initiate and contemplate the wish. And I think we begin. Oops, I'm not sure who we begin with. whoever feels inspired to read it, I suppose.
Thank you, my dear. Uh, wishes, beautiful wishes from the heart and soul, my dear beautiful soul. We, from the universal creation, as one soul, feel the suffering of all existing souls. We are feeling the peace in each existing soul, creating condition of a new time. And the place is what created of the universe. Position is the unicorn position, soul of the creator. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give from our soul to elevate the soul of sovereign nations so that they live in peace as equal. We, the Universal Council, elevate the people of the planet to engage through the game of peace and enlightenment.
We, the Universal Council, wish one universe, one race in total peace.
We elevate the souls of all members in the past, present, and future of the Universal Council as one soul, as part of the totality of the knowledge of the creation. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, make conditions for all structures around the Keshe Foundation to be supported financially and to have what they need at the point of need to bring a total change. Hear our command. We, the Universal Council, give from our field strengths to empower the world leaders to negotiate and sign the World Peace Treaty, pledging their nations to a permanent and everlasting peace on this planet.
Next, we have the connection between souls with Moshfek.
Okay, so I read this. I love you, my soul. I live you, and I love with you, and I adore you. So in this section, we are gathered here to connect our souls wherever we may be. And this is something we can all do easily and comfortably. And we do it at 9 o'clock every day, 9 p.m. Central European Time. And then we do every 3 hours at the physicality level, but we can do this with our soul at any time. And although, I mean, sometimes physical effort helps us to be aware in the level of our presence on this planet, but while we do it, the soul is always there to make the connection. And in connecting, we bring our intentions together of one nation, one planet, and one race in peace and prosperity. And so, and do the best we can and to reach this goal. Now I'm going to switch to my native language, which is Bengali, and we'll have a 2 minute of silence while we connect. And although I will speak in Bengali, the message is actually transmitted more at the soul level than in physicality. And we can all relate to it in that way. So I will be, when we start the timing, I'll speak in English and in the top. So আমি এখন বাংলায় আমাদের আত্মার সংযোগের কথা বলতে যাচ্ছি। এই সংযোগ আমরা প্রতিদিন করতে পারি 9টার সময় এবং প্রতিদিন 3 ঘন্টা অন্তর অন্তর, এবং এর মাধ্যমে আমরা যে যোগাযোগটা করি সেটা আমরা আত্মার মাধ্যমে যে কোনো সময় করতে পারি, এবং এবং এই কতক্ষণ স্থায়ী থাকবে আবার কতক্ষণ এটা এই সংযোগ আমরা আমাদের মন দিয়ে বুঝতে পারবো, সেটা বড় কথা না। বড় কথা এই যে আমরা হচ্ছে যখন এই সংযোগের প্রয়োজনীয়তা হবে তখন আমরা সহজেই এটা করতে পারি। এবং এই আশা নিয়ে আমরা যে কোনো সময় এই কাজে নিয়োজিত হতে পারি সকলের উন্নয়নের এবং সমৃদ্ধির জন্য এবং শান্তির জন্য। আমরা শুরু করি। Let's start. Now we conclude our soul connection. To the next item.
Okay, thank you, Mashfaq. Next, we have the invitation to the soul connection with Marinez.
Yes. Hello, Mehran's Farsi language universal support. So we, the Universal Council, invite the Keshe and Universal family present on the earth to unify at the soul level every time and every day at 9 PM CET. And when we are connected, when our souls are connected together at this time or every time, we give from our souls to enlighten the souls of the world leaders, to negotiate and sign the World Peace Treaty, pledging their nation to everlasting peace on earth and throughout the universe. As Mr. K said, unless we don't have a peace on this planet, we cannot go to universal community. We are too greedy, we are too war-minded people, humanity at this level. And that would be very, very dangerous for us to leave the earth and go other places because they don't like that, of course. So we have to be in peace before going out. We have a family of universal community waiting for us for a long time. And only these hyperactive leaders, eager people who prevent others to reach peace, prosperity. And what we do as Keshe knowledge seeker, we focus with our souls connected together on peace and elevation of the leaders, the religious leaders, the economic leaders, and the political leaders, and the media leaders, because we are kind of hostage in their hands. People are good. People everywhere show that they need love and freedom and peace, but they cannot express it. So I wish that all of us, we see the day when we have peace and when we can travel to space with any means and enjoy our lives, start to enjoy our lives, really. So I thank you very much for uniting your souls. Thank you again.
Okay, next I have an invitation from Mr. Keshe on how to become a Universal Council member. And this is an excerpt from the 576 Knowledge Seekers Workshop, which I will play now.
There's something which I should have made an announcement. As we are structuring and in a new development of Keshe Foundation is worldwide application and implication, as we set up the structure for Universal Council, a number of Universal Council members have become old and they reach the age of 60, and they serve during the 60 years they are there till 61. They to run the functionality of the operation of the what we call energy dimension, the Universal Council members, if you want to become, please consider and let your soul decide of many languages around the world, as these will be announced very soon internationally, and we expect the souls to serve. And if it's from the knowledge seekers who understand the technology with dimension of the soul, you can apply for to be added to and become a member of the Universal Council. The Earth Council is appointed by the Keshe Foundation on the grounds of true structure of the nationality, understanding the culture, that there is no prejudice by physical dimension of the borders. And so if you feel your soul is there to serve humanity in expansion and the growth of it, just apply for it at the Keshe Foundation, or send the email to info@keshe.foundation, say I would like to be a member of the Universal Council. We receive this regularly, and now we're going to expand this very rapidly due to what is to come and what is to be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear Rick. I also want to add, so I am also welcome you. I also welcome you from the core of my heart and soul. Dear beautiful soul, from wherever you are, from which community you are, and from whatever nation you are, we welcome it as we welcome you as Universal Council member and Universal Council support member to join in Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. So much welcome, dear beautiful souls. Do join as Universal Council members and Universal Council support members. Thank you so much. And also we invite you to connect with a member of the Universal Council to send us your questions to be answered live each week on each of your community. As we are all learning, we are all knowledge seekers, dear beautiful souls, but we invite you to join in all the Telegram groups. But because as Keshe Foundation UC Universal Council website is well becoming new again, and it is in process, so you can contact us, interact with us in all Telegram groups of different languages of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute. Share your love, share your teach us and advise us, give us the share you want to share, and we all will be there to interact as one being. So welcome to the Telegram group, my dear beautiful souls. Do join, have this interaction of love, peace, and enlightenment. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us as one soul of peace. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute.
Okay, thank you, Sweta. Next, we have an excerpt from the 626 Knowledge Seekers Workshop from last Thursday. It's about the twin souls. This is about 25 minutes. So here we go. Just let me get that shared properly.
As we explained last week and the week before, we are on a track to understand the connection between us and central energy of our creation and the creation of whatever we see. One of the most important part of this equation is how does one connect and how does one recognize the position to connect to. What this means, is by the law of physics, by the law of understanding the plasma energy. A system, a field, a magnetic field, a current will flow in a direction till meets a resistance or encounter an interaction that in that interaction, in feeding back, the source understands has a line of connection that it can deliver to. You have a battery, the cable is there, the battery doesn't discharge, doesn't supply anything. The minute you connect the two ends of the battery to an entity, doesn't matter what it is, then the system recognizes I'm connected. I need to give, but I see what I can take back. In the world of cosmology and space technology, we call it gravitational and magnetical. In electronics and electrical currents, we call it current and eddy current. We have created many, many names for this. We hear different words that in certain ways you have fields which they go out, and if you make a box, nothing can be leaked out. You make a Faraday box, and then now we have built what we call magnetical, gravitational boxes with nano-materials. And so we have come up at the end of it with the same result. Doesn't matter, we go on a field, we go on a current, we go on a gravity, whatever we do, there is a need for giving and taking back to see what I'm giving, what is more needed to be done. And in that giving, I run out of energy myself, I need to gather from somewhere else. In the world of what we call state of matter, we call it gravity, which means we pull in what is there for us, and then we give a connection back. We call it magnetical. There is no difference between the current and eddy current. There is no difference between what we saw with Professor Miles and we saw with what we call Tesla. So if we understand this principle, there is no connection till there is a feedback. So the soul of the man is the same. The rays of the Creator has found a source, and in the same way we feed back to it where we are, what we do, who we are, and the rest of it. There is no difference between the location recognized by the rays of the universe in respect to the sun of the solar system and the son of the man we call the soul of the man. But for them to be recognized, for them to be in a position to be understood, the Creator transmits always on H, what we call fundamental plasma energy, which is Him, which is the source, the center of the universe. So when this field moves around, we call it rays of light. In religions, we have found different names for the same thing because we rub the people under different titles. Is the connection which the Creator sends out across the universe, irrespective of position and place. And then when a matter state created, then the response goes back. Here I am, but I have to digest it. I have to transfer it in a plasma condition, which at the soul level, at the central energy, but lower level down, we call it carbon 14. Therefore, it's our feedback. It's an eddy current. Is that what we call I call it Mr. Miles. We have found different names In the role of plasma technology, we call it magnetic. What is that feedback? So the creator contours, the line of connection comes at the fundamental plasma magnetic field level, which is the creator, is the source, is the center. Does not matter what name you put to it. And in interacting with the plasmatic condition, we call it carbon-14 as a feedback. And then this carbon-14 travels the whole span of the universe, and this way it travels and interacts with the other materials and positions and other souls and other magnetic field plasma centers, which in the condition of environmental field condition changes to matter state, and the carbon-14 becomes carbon-12 in the amino acid of the man, in the vacuum condition of the body of the man, in the atmospheric condition of this planet becomes carbon as we know it, and we call it carbon-12, and the rest of it. So we have to understand that we, as scientists, as cosmologists, as those who deal with what we call universal fields, we understand the whole levels in a battery, in the plasmatic field of the condition of the earth, and in the condition of the soul of the man. It's all the same. In a way, we send a message to the creator, I'm here, I'm here. And in sending the message as a carbon-14, we have a spectrum. So the field doesn't go directly back to the creator on his way, trying to find his way back. Even though he finds his way back, it interacts with other elements, with other fields, which they, in a way, saying hi to the creator, the same as what we are doing. And this leads to creative new conditions, new cells, new organs, new planetary system, new moons, and then. And then in the future, one day we explain something very deep in the knowledge of the cosmology, knowledge of the universal, what we call magnetic fields, what we call fundamental plasma. As we seen the structure of every plasma has to have another plasma to balance with, then it'll come to a very fundamental understanding that you have the sun, and then it creates the earth and the moons, and then you have the neutron and protons, which produce a balance of the electron for the feedback. Our universe has a parallel universe. It's a twin. It's a law of physics. It cannot be done any other way. It has to give its energy to a position that it gives back to it, that it can keep the stability. And if this universe of us has been here for billions of years, trillions of years, then it has a twin. In the same as our solar system has a twin, in the same as our atom has a twin, has electron and a proton and a neutron in the structure of the atomic understandings, and the same way they feed back, they receive and they give back. And in all that connection, there is a connection to the center, because it is what we call fundamental plasma magnetic field elements. We call it the source, or the God and the creator and the rest of it. If we see in the bigger picture, it becomes much easier to understand the smaller picture, which is the soul of the man, and then we call it the twin soul, and then we understand in the smaller field we have that twin part of our soul, we call it the soul of physicality. They have found different names for it, the soul, the spirits, the ruh, and the rest of it. And when it is to interact, be it within the condition of environmental plasma of the, what we call the environment, leads to manifestation of the physicality of the man. The physicality of the man is actually that electron. The soul of the man is a neutron, and the soul of physicality of the man is that proton. because bits of it is flashed out, which becomes the physical manifestation of the man. If we understand the whole process and look at it scientifically, look at it and understand it, not with the eye of trying to connect it to an event which suits us, but understand the whole process as a natural, fundamentally the same, right across different strength field of the creation, then we come up with one answer. There is only one process in the world of creation. And depending on the place, position, and what we call possession, creates the cell of the man, the soul of the man, the star, the galaxies, the universes, the parallel, what we call twin universes, and the rest of it. Because in the world of creation cannot be exceptions. The exceptions are where we don't understand, and now we have to look for it. We have to understand how this come to be. We call it the soul of the solar system, but where is the soul of physicality of the solar system, which in the manifestation of physicality becomes the Earth, the Moon, the Mars, and the rest of it, on a matter state of physical condition. This is where most of you as knowledge seekers fail in understanding the whole process to be the same, does not matter what. So when it comes for you to move across the universe, when you come to transmute, you have not seen any engine on the solar system, have you? You have not seen no rockets hanging around it, have you? It still does 10,000 kilometers in the solid body state and travels beyond the speed of light in the dimension of the energy. Can that be that difficult? If we understand this, there's one fundamental point which is need to be understood. What is the outcome between the what we call the fields of the creator and the fields which we send back to our creator as carbon-14, as our extension of the magnetical system and the rest of it? You have two opposite fields, one of the lower and one of the lowest, which comes from the dimension of the plasmatic field interaction. What's the difference between the two? In the world of electronics, we call it voltage. In the language of the physics, we call it potential difference. In the understanding of the totality of the creation, man has not understood the power of magnetic fields interactions. In a funny way, man understood, but the greed of physicality threw him to the wall. What do you do? What is actually ever understood? You go to a shop, you buy a generator, you buy a motor. What is in it? A magnet which rotates, and then a crazy part which stands there and I say, I don't take you. What does the magnetic field? In hitting you, releases its energy. Doesn't this happen when a wave hits a block? When you run and hit a man who's stationary, you transfer your energy. But man has to understand in the world of creation, the same thing happens in the dimension of plasmatic energy fields. The rays from the creator are not a singularity, they are more like a field. And then, as we say, they create vibration, they create waves. And it's the same when the carbon-14 travels back. And then now you understand, you hit them together, what you're going to get? A bit of dust, a bit of debris, and a massive amount of energy. Cosmic ray energies, which runs in the principle of the whole rotation of this planetary system, this solar system, this galaxy, and the universe, and the universe is only this and nothing else. And world of science have not understood the beauty of this. They've gone to get the magnet to rotate it, and then they say they got a perpetual rotation. Plasma works on the perpetual rotation. How come man has not looked into the depth of the knowledge to understand this? Is the lack of knowledge in how they cooked knowledge which has brought us here. And scientifically, we can blame only one person for this in the cycle of the recent knowledge of the man. Because our ancestors understood this. They worked on the plasma. We see it right across the planetary system. In different locations, we see how man achieved this knowledge, but could not pass on because man used to live in a village. Now man has a communication system that every village is connected to each other. You knowledge seekers worked on magraphs, but he never understood.
Just a question on the twin, like our solar system. You said we have a twin. Is there like a magnetic connection between the two, or?
Yes, it's a plasmatic field, cosmic ray connection. Yes.
So distance doesn't matter how much.
Not really, because it's instantaneous. If you look at it, we have 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 ears, and the rest. Partially, this is the reason. This is the twinity, because the fields from the right hand and the left hand creates a continuous rotation of the fields. This is a vertical confinement of me. The hand of the man, the arm of the man, and hanging on both sides is not just for you to reach. It has a plasmatic reason. It's the boundary. The energy sets not to lose, and this is what it is. It's the same with the legs. This is partially, but we have everything in twos. Partially is to carve on the structure of our body, but twinity is not just with the soul. The body of the man carries it. That allows the working, the physical working. It goes right across the creation. The stars, the body of the man, the soul of the man, and the same. Everything has to be connected to something that it can find its position.
Yeah, okay.
So, if you are here as a body, as an energy, it's not just you. It has to be a confirmation of connection, interaction. You interact with the field of this planet on the physical side. But the energy of the soul connects to the soul of the called central field of this planet, plus its own connection at the field strength of itself. We have dimensions, numbers, if you call it, of what we call soul connections. And each one performs its own work. Energy level, you still connect with the soul of the earth because it's the same essence, hydrogen connection, and interaction of it in respect to the energy of the soul, which is creates your physicality. And the more energy you put into this dimension of the outer layers of the soul of the man, you dictate the height. Have you seen why the Chinese and Japanese are going through the roof with their height? Because the energy level on the physical side has found a match which is a stronger. You eat too many McDonald's. You absorb a lot of fake, what we call energy, which sits on the outer layer of the soul of the man, on the dimension of its physicality or strength. And so it's a bigger energy, further distance. It's logical, it's the way it's done, because it comes across the totality of the work of the soul of the man and the soul of the physicality of the man. And what it needs to be understood is how we further understand the work of the interaction of the fields. And once we understand this, we move on amazingly. And we will understand the proper interaction of the fields. We work too much on the physical condition. And if you understand this, what is something nice for you to consider, which is beyond a lot of understanding of us, but you have a behavior. I mean, you as a human race. And your behavior affects your soul. And the soul affects your physicality. We call it psychosomatic. But one thing which man has not understood yet, and maybe it's time for man to start looking into it, is that if the behavior of your physicality or the people around you affects your soul, which reacts to cancer in the prostate and the rest of it, psychosomatic, what, and you understand this, that you have a twin soul somewhere. What does this change? Changes that soul that affects the physicality of that soul. We are too concerned about our twin soul. We have a twin soul. But if you understood psychosomatic, understood the emotion of the fields of the body of the man affects the soul of the man, affects the physicality of the man, and you have a twin soul, you change the energy of the soul, and according to what we call the phenomena of the, you twist one atom, the other one twist, you transfer this energy to the soul. So you affect the structure of that soul, which is your twin soul, on the other side. Could be anywhere on another universe, on the other side of the galaxy, or on this planet. We are responsible, not just for our soul, but if you keep on talking about the twin soul and trinity and the rest of it, you turn one, the other one turns. You're responsible now for another body as much as yours.
Yeah.
And this is what we cannot talk about because people only like to stick to half of the story. But the full story says, understanding the interaction of the souls, and you're so happy saying, oh, it's my twin soul. What do you do in your soul in respect to the effect on your physicality and soul of physicality does the same. We ate too much McDonald's, we increase the height. You put too much pressure on the soul, keeps the distance between the twin souls. Increasing it, transferring the energy. How does this energy you transferring added to your soul has affected that soul which has absorbed the energy? Now you understand. It's much, much deeper than what we think. This is what I love, the message of Sarashta. It's do good, think good and act good, because when you do that, not only you save your own soul, but the soul which you call Trinity, which is connected to the soul of the Creator. And no man needs to understand this. You're not anymore, if you understand in a deeper way, my own. I am part of a structure which I don't see. What would I? Do you like to hurt your child? Why do you do so?
Okay, that's our excerpt from the 626 Knowledge Seekers Workshop regarding the twin souls. Okay, now before transmutation time, we have the knowledge and understanding of the Knowledge Seekers Workshop with Stefania. She's not available.
I don't think she's here today, but we did hear Mr. Keshe cover a bit on the twin soul in one of the first questions by Antonio. And again, this is quite a huge Pandora box, but we're just becoming aware that we're responsible actually for a twin soul in some way. Maybe we'll open that up in the Reactor group. I don't know. But I'll just cover a couple of the questions that were asked. I'll start with the last one that was from a knowledge seeker about being in two locations at the same time. And of course, Mr. Keshe agreed that that's very possible. I think I've gone to the Wikipedia, and maybe we'll do that later as well in the Reactor group, which is in the same room, Zoom number, and at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, about bilocation. And you'll find there's reported cases of very famous people being in two locations at the same time. Of course, this was in days of old and so on, and again, not verified and maybe an illusion, they're saying, of course, totally disregarding the energy dimension. But as we know, we can be in multiple places simultaneously. So again, just another anomaly that we never thought could exist. Of course, Rick opened that question of the placenta and again went to show, Mr. Keshe said he's been reading a lot of scientific papers. The knowledge he brings is just not something, he does a lot of studying in the background and so on. And some of the papers he used to travel with, suitcases full of papers confirming the technology and the rest when he was playing with the Belgians and so on. Yes, he mentioned about the twin souls in a few places in the workshop. So you'll find multiple locations and what Mr. Keshe was alluding to there. And of course, he talked about the greed, which we mentioned earlier, that it has a frequency and it has a field strength and it has a cosmic ray energy. And he said soon it will be handled. He said they know how to deal with this. So this will come through the balance of the field some way, perhaps even in the gameplay. And as he said, it's not just the MagRav system. We haven't fully understood it, but he said this will be released. This is just part of another system. And it's not just one thing that will bring the change, but a combination of things. And we see many different combinations being introduced, from the cosmic ray material to the Mark Rake operation to the coin to the gameplay and to the One Nation network. So it's a combination of everything. The GANs he released, and of course the soul of the participants in all these activities. I think, as he said, there's more to be explained. It's much deeper than we think it is. Of course, he reported the sound of helicopters, which was again an omen for something bigger being planned. That's why we continue to elevate these leaders. He asked if Trump, he's often told the story of the water well, where a village idiot would take a stone and throw it in the water well, and then it would take, or gum up the works, let's say, and then it would take many intelligent people within the village to get the water flowing again. And the question was asked, is President Trump going to be that village guy? who sort of puts the stone in the well, and then we're going to have to sort that out. But we continue to elevate these world leaders as we see that they are souls in need. And of course, the gameplay was emphasized, especially, he said, African people that can get a hold of this. I think it's anyone, again, that this will bring some of the biggest change. And as he said, we want 1 billion people playing this game, and this will, once they catch on, I think they'll find a way to bring themselves out of poverty by this sort of one planet, one nation, one race structure that's being set up in the background. Talked about blue eyes as well. Apparently there's some studies, and I guess eyes have changed in past history due to conditions and stress, and maybe that's for seeing at night. I'm not sure if there was a more period of darkness, perhaps the time, but they're tracing it back. Not sure if it came from a man or a woman, but many beautiful things. As he said, your brain is that plasma. This is where the brain is the hydrogen, like a mayo, he was saying, or a question was asked about that. And he said, this is where you mix the plasmas in the brain with the hydrogen. This is part of the twinity system. And then, of course, the hydrogen in the matter state, he said, we call it deuterium. And somewhere between these two, plasmatic hydrogen and I guess the H2, something is created or an interaction. But again, we need to know more about it. But perhaps that's what's going to happen in some of the transmission sessions that are up and coming, to be able to sort of, as he said in the beginning of this workshop, to connect to a position, and so on and so forth. So again, the knowledge continues to get deeper, but we're just all participating. As he said, in the future, there'll be another Pandora box, but we can all apply the idea of thinking, speaking, and acting good, because I think we're creating plasmas, and we can also create shielding around us. So that part of that question, I think, was just played in a way. So that was basically it. But as I said, these workshops will be opened up for the next year, the next decade, and some of them for centuries in the future. So don't think I've understood the entire process, but just a couple of little aspects of what was shared with us. Thank you, Rick. And perhaps we'll continue, especially with the eddy current. I think this is a beautiful understanding that I'm sure Rick has it scheduled for the reactor group, because we do have some electrical people and others who've understood it. But as Mr. Keshe likes to say, we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of some of the connections of the soul of the man. So thank you. Anyone else want to add to the knowledge? Again, that was just a very cursory touching of what was delivered. And of course, the more we understand, the more deeper we can see the knowledge. And again, perhaps even getting to that point, that one of the points Mr. Keshe had raised, once we understand the totality, we realize how little we actually really know. So even the creator continues to, I guess, investigate and understand his own creation. We're sort of a twin of the creator if we're made in the image of the creator, just a different size, a different strength, and perhaps a different amount. But I would see the creator as a twin as well. So that's what I'd like to share about the knowledge and understanding. If anyone else wants to add anything else. But it was about connection and about connecting to certain positions. And I think this is done through the understanding of the emotions and how to generate certain strengths of that emotion, which is part of the testing and keeping the Keshe Foundation free for humanity in the upcoming 3 sessions, January, February, and March, which you'll find in the Keshe Foundation store. Anyone else, or shall we move along?
Okay, that sounds like a vote to move along. The silence sounds like a vote to move along, that is. Okay. Let's move into let's see here. I believe it's time for transmutation with Moshfegh. And or Shweta.
Must may have some noise in the background, or he's just playing the game at this time.
Could be. Hello, Moshfegh. Can you read us? Over. Well, we may have to defer time for transmutation. Moshfegh, are you there? Hello? Well, I think Mark, as you say, must be busy or too noisy where he's at. So
yeah, I think God is calling him for prayer right now. So perhaps.
Okay, let's we can come back to it if he shows. Next, we have the products from the Keshe Foundation and announcements about the sessions and new products. And let's see here. Got a video for that. It's about 17 minutes. So let's play that now. Again, this is from the 626 Knowledge Seekers workshop, and this is announcements about the sessions and new products. You'll see that now. And let me get
yes. These are cosmic ray, what we call materials, which we have launched as packages before in different what we call occasions, and now we are releasing these on a what we call continuous basis. These are all what we call resin product for different occasions which is coming up. They'll be priced in the next day or so, hopefully, and then you should be able to purchase it directly. We do not do the what we call the packages as we used to do, like a Christmas and a New Year packages. These are individual pieces, and if you go through all of them, and then you can see what it is. And it's per occasion. You can what you call order per piece, then as we did it in 500 and 250 and 1,000 packages. This way, every individual person can choose. They are made of different mixture of what we call cosmic ray and gases. And it's a new, what we call a structure, which goes with this one. I'm sure in next day or so, very soon, you will see a launch of a new pen, what we call the pain pen, on the same structure. It's not plastic anymore. You actually hold the whole direct contact with the material. The new, what we call cosmic ray paint pens are a solid state. What it means in the present paint pens, you have a plastic container which still filters energy between the body and what is to be taken out. Now you actually hold directly the two energies. You create a closed circle. And these are the new extensions of the energy systems which we have put out. And you will see it. It's been sent to you, but has not been what we call put out or priced out, but is part of the new product range which the Keshe Foundation lives there. You don't need necessarily to buy it for Easter because it's a rabbit. These you can buy it as a decoration and put it in the house for transfer of energies. And they all have
confirmation, because we had a lot of problem with people transferring like cosmic, what we call ray materials. But now, as a resin, is inside, is within. For example, in the past we had a problem with paint pens in some countries because of the liquid inside it or whatever, could not be done. Now is a resin. Anybody around the world can buy the paint pens, and this is part of the structure of bringing in peace, bringing in what we call happiness into the house, change of the energies. You just put it as per item, and this allows us to be able to transfer a lot of it. You have a child which is sick, we are developing technologies to be able, as a toy, to bring that change. Children don't like to take medicine. We'll be coming the same way. In the coming months, as part of the Keshe Foundation reorganization, we will receive documentation and materials worldwide licensed for the first time for the viruses, which means we'll handle through a structure how to overcome the viruses in a way it does not exist in the world of medicine. And this will become part of our structure of the work. And you will see massive amount of pictures and items which will be continuously be added to, and we try to keep it in a way workable for all of us in so many ways of understanding how things work. You can use it for Valentine, and you can make it for Easter. But at the end, at this final point, is how we enjoy connection and the understanding of the use of the energy field. In the next couple of days, we already made this offer to some of the retailers. If those are in the retail side of the Keshe Foundation, have access to charities or whatever, that they can give the resins freely in the hand of the what we call people who need it. The Keshe Foundation has set up a structure to support that. And all the what we call our gel packs, as of this week you will see, will be reduced to 10 and 20 euro per pack, depending on the size. And we have a large number of the pillows which we went through to restructuring of the Keshe Foundation, changing the pillows to $29.99 for some, for the small ones, and to $40.49 for the larger one, that we can move a lot of things out of the way, that we can accommodate the new changes and the new product range which is coming into the structure of the Keshe Foundation. So in the next few days, look for what we call the Keshe Foundation pages and see what you want from it and what suits you. And everything will be priced down to come in through. There's a lot of other more products which is already being produced and will be added to this range. And it's mainly to change, because we understood a lot of people have problems even in partnerships, that they want to change the environment of the house, but the partner is allergic to this and that. These are decorative items, they will do the same. You have a child which is disturbed, this does the same. Put it around the bedroom. We've done this in different ways, in different trials, where we just leave the bottle of gases and people don't like to see this. This is a decorative, but does the same thing. The size, the shapes brings the dimension of the change, and then it's for you to see how things done. In what we call a structured way, we introduce new materials, and as I said, we are looking for what we call resellers of the products of Keshe Foundation worldwide. It has to be a continuous, not just buying order for me to buy and just for what I want. This is a new product range, our manufacturing site for distributing, and new product range will come, which part of it will be high advanced technologies. This is the
new way we spread the knowledge and the technology and in the mass production. You will understand soon. As I said, we don't release much more about what the Keshe Foundation does because of what we saw in the past, but the foundation is working to become one of the largest structures in scientific world. Step by step, very quietly, we receive support from knowledge seekers who can support us, both financially, scientifically, and others. We have set this time not to talk, but to show, and this is part of the structure you see, and you'll see more amazing things coming out of the foundation in a very, very clever way. But as we said, for example, the ganses now in what we call energetic bottles can be bought from all the chemists you can order through EU, in Austria and the rest. In the pharmacies, you can ask for Keshe Foundation materials as part of the energetic liquids, as a what we call wellness products. So this is going to be the same. So again, you can buy these as an energetic unit from the resellers, and the same forward. Those of you who take part in the sessions of this month and next month, please make sure you have at least 2 headphones with you. We need that. And to try to be ready for an experience which we would like you to tell us how you went through the session. This is for information transfer, which means we send the information in a different way for your soul, as I said in the teaching, to convert it in to understand the position of the transmutation. And the whole structure of the sessions for next 3 months is to define how exact we transfer this information to you, that your soul or your energy uses it for transmutation. A lot of people had a problem with this. Now we have what we call developed the technology on the backside of what we understood and what we saw from the performance of the 3i. The world of science has forgotten about this thing, came and went. We're still analyzing the data we received from the encounter, because they looked at the physical, if they changed something. We look at how actually it was doing, hiding under, interacting with the souls, with the energy fields of the body of the man. And this is something very, very important for us to extend, to understand, and imply it and apply it in the new systems which is coming, which allows for a faster transmission, even those who don't know how to transmute. It brings a dimension of transfer. So these sessions are important for us, and then we'll see how fast you will do the transmutation, how fast you can merge into the transfer of energy, and how you use it, not necessarily for transmutation, for yourself, for wellness, how things change in you. You don't need to transfer and transmute energy to go somewhere. You can transfer that energy to change something within you, emotionally, physically, and the rest of it. This is part of the expansion of what we said, the production of what we call the systems. And this is part of what it needs to be understood in totality. Gradually, we are moving into technologies which is non-known, and will bring a lot of controversy with it. And we'll see how things can work in the total application. And these resonance, cosmic ray, material resonance is part of this structure. Any questions?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Keshe. Quite a variety of products there.
There's more of it will be added in the next few days. And then the whole restructuring of the Keshe Foundation starts. We are restructuring after nearly 7 years. all the gel products has to is there at literally below what costs us manufacturing. We want to empty shelves and move on. And the same with the pillows. The pillows, a lot of you, it was 120 odd, will be reduced to a price that affordable. You can give it as a gift to anyone, and at the same time has the effect of to be. And it's part of our work to be done. And then with us, gradually as things comes up, the next steps of the work of the Keshe Foundation. And the most interesting thing is for us is sugar beet and the what we call the new pens, which are now directly as what we call items. The sugar beets were tested heavily by, and it's getting manufactured by some organizations, and now is part of the Keshe Foundation. You just wear it and you'll see the effect of it. It's like a bracelet, and it's been well tested in China by people who have used it and produced it.
What do you mean sugar beet?
We had a sugar cups is on the same basis. We had the pressure cups and the sugar cups is the same thing, but in a very direct way. If you bought a sugar cup, you take these, it'll create that dynamic system to help or to work with wellness. It's part of the structure of the work of the Keshe Foundation, which comes in. It's like the obeso units now will come in a totally different way and proposition in the next few months. The development is on its way to complete it. We expect before the end of this year to change the world of what we call material production in a way that you want to produce at the moment a cup. You go and buy a 3D cup maker, and then you buy a resin and you make it. The new system which we are working on should be hopefully done in the near future, is that you produce the material you want in your system. You want to make a cup from copper, you produce the copper to produce that cup. It should be able to be done on a tabletop size, but the industrial size for the factories and production changes a lot of things. So there's a lot of things gradually being fed back, and we are in a position to be able to do this. The same is what we saw, the flight systems, energy systems. We have taken a new course, and gradually you will see as the products will come into the market, but we will not produce 2050 for knowledge seekers. There will be mass production for the nations, and we'll see as it comes up. Any other?
Yes, we had a question from Kurt who says, hello, Mr. Keshe. Would it be beneficial to add the new resin products to the bath water? Could one harmonize the body more intensively?
If you don't use chemicals, I suppose that it doesn't damage the structure, why not? Resins are now used as table, floors, and everything else. Depends on what corrosive material you use on it. Test one on the chemicals you use for hair, shampoo, or bath soap, and make sure your bath is not made of metal. Okay. Thank you very much. Call it a day. Hopefully we see each other next week. If we're still here and we still can broadcast, and if the fields of the universe are still. And we'll see how the world changes in the coming days and weeks. It's all getting prepared for world peace. Even the conflict of religions has become, in a way, complete
by another part of religion. One day I explain to you even what's happening today in the coming time.
Okay, that completes that excerpt from our last Knowledge Seekers workshop.
Thank you, my dear Rick. I want to say the gifts are so beautiful, really. So close to the heart. You know, when you were showing started the video and the gifts shown in the Knowledge Seeker workshop also. These are like, I just at this moment I became the child I was, and when we children all the time like chocolates, toffees, and we used to like the Parley Poppins, different colored toffees, vibrant colors. And I can feel the color because of these gifts, so beautiful. I can feel the Parley Poppins in my mouth. Even with the color, I can experience that. And even like a surprise beauty box came when I was a teenager with a pink ribbon, pink frock, and a pink pearl kind of thing, a pink powder. And so much lovely. So this is so beautiful. These gifts are so close to the heart, and I understand how people will feel. People will all beings will be in joy with these gifts, and of course the wellness to be well. And I feel this in this now moment, the colors of this cosmic rays, the colors of this beautiful, cute uh, products. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Keshe Foundation. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shriman Mehranji, Mr. M.T. Keshe, for all the love, always. And we all love you. Thank you. Thank you. Salam, namaste. Salute, my dear.
Okay, thank you, Shweta. Next, we have the needs and wishes part of the program. Usually we start with any questions from the audience here. Let me consult the YouTube.
Yes, of course. Absolutely.
I don't see any right now. There is a comment in French, but I haven't translated that yet. Let me do that, see what that's about. From Radadia, who in translated from the French says, peace, kindness, respect, sun of illumination on all life on earth, the universe, spiral, galaxy, cosmos, one race, one nation, one blue planet, beautifully colored by millions of cosmic rays.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for your beautiful words, dear Radada. Thank you, beautiful soul you are. Thank you so much.
Yes, I have a question. I just happen to know. I wanted to know when is the next session of transmutation session? Anybody knows?
Yeah, they're not called transmutation sessions anymore. They're transmission sessions.
Yeah,
And the transmission session, I believe, is on Friday, coming up
next
on the
Friday.
30th.
Next Friday.
Well, the 30th is coming up in 3 days.
Oh,
That's what I
fantastic.
mean by next.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mehran. Yeah.
Perhaps I can show that page so that we people know about that. So bear with me, my mouse is all over the place, so I'm having trouble navigating.
We, the Universal Council,
Um,
give from.
Just a minute, Marinus. Let me show the Keshe Foundation store site with the just having trouble just getting my mouse working here, so just bear with me. Do it. So it's called the Cosmic Ray Transmission 2026 Cosmic Ray Transmission Sessions. It says these sessions are launched as part of transition of emotion to be in line with the launch of the Peace and Enlightenment game released last month. These sessions are not transmutation sessions. We advise those who join these sessions to be registered for the Peace and Enlightenment game, as we might test the transfer of emotion through cosmic rays technology while the participants are playing the game. Sessions will be as needed, and we estimate no less than 3 hours to be allocated for each of these sessions. We'll be using what we learned from the encounter with 3i Atlas. And it shows the sessions of January 30th, February 27th, and March 20th. And they're at 500 euros plus the VAT and whatever other taxes. Okay, so we know about that.
Thanks a lot.
Now let's go to our needs and wishes, and please go ahead, Marinez.
We, the Universal Council, give from our souls collectively to it's the sunshine, to protect all the world and all the world from all evil.
It says all the world and Iran from all evil.
Yeah, and Iran. Yeah, that's our wish, and our wishes are common.
Okay, and we'll have 30 seconds of silence after each of these needs and wishes.
We, the Universal Council, give from our soul for okay, give from our soul. um, it is next.
Yeah, I'm trying to,
Okay,
everything's going haywire here for some
okay.
reason, so I'm having trouble getting through the, even just trying.
Let me read it if I could. While Rick is sorting things out, we, the Universal Council, give freely from our soul to elevate the souls of the leaders to achieve permanent peace in the Middle East now.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of all leaders and the population throughout the American continent to live in harmony, respect, respecting each nation as equal. Our wish is our command. We are present. We, the Universal Council, give from our soul for the protection of those living with fear in natural disaster areas, and our soul wishes to help cover all emotional, and physical needs. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give through our souls that Russia and Ukraine can find peace for the sake of all the families of the planet.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of the leaders involved in conflicts in Sudan and other areas only by greed, with unconditional love and inner peace, so that they respect the lives of all populations because they are sovereign and free.
Okay, that's the end of our needs and wishes. So I'm wondering,
you, my dear.
do we need to revisit the time for transmutation, or shall we call it a day here?
Yeah.
We can do it because I think there was
Okay.
a lot of background noise because of some political and things going on. I think it has subsided, so I can probably do it. If
Okay. Let's go back then.
okay.
And it's time for transmutation. Thank you, Moshfek.
Okay. So I'm Mosfek, representing Bengali language as a Universal Council support member. So what we want to talk about today is the interactions of souls in manifest. So we know that there has been discussion about transmission. So one of the things that we sometimes do not pay attention as we attempt to transmute is the transmission between souls, particularly from the soul of man to soul of physicality. What is this transmission? The transmission that is necessary is to provide the energy to the soul of physicality that it has lost because of its interaction with the environment. And as we know, that soul of physicality is what in the end creates the physicality. But the fields that govern this manifestation has to be adjusted so that the soul of physicality is comfortable in withdrawing the fields from physicality so that the physicality is no longer held together at the level of manifestation of physicality. Right now, this situation is difficult for us to come by. And this requires a bit of effort in the sense that one has to remember one's intention at the soul level, soul of man level, and then engage the soul of physicality at the same time. Well, it's a bit difficult in the sense that, you know, you have to hold two different fields at different level of emotions. It's kind of like doing this things that we have talked about here before, is that making one hand cold and one hand hot, and then create the interaction. It's a very similar situation, but it's done at this level of soul of physicality and soul of man level. So, and there is one, you know, when I have done experiments on transmutation, there is a very disconcerting feeling that the soul of physicality is not in tune. And it wants to, in a way, do its own thing. But when it comes to transmutation, the two souls need to work in unison. And this lack of energy, in the case of soul of physicality, is what can be changed through the transmission. And this is transmission within ourselves. So, and the idea of transmission is also present when we have multiple souls engaged in a certain effort. Let's say some of the wishes that we talk about here. They are wishes for all of us to consider, but not all of us are equally prepared to engage in it. So what is possible here is that we can transmit additional energy with the wish, so that those who are wishing come to a certain level to help transmit the wish. So the situation is identical to like when we when we wish to transmute, because with when we wish to transmute, but the totality of the soul of physicality and soul of man and physicality are not completely together or in unison, just like the case of multiple soul, to carry out the task. And this is something that I have noticed in my experiments. And it's very tangible, and we can even feel when we do the wishes that there is, sometimes we have to do it several times for this kind of energy transmission to happen. And it's a useful exercise both collectively and also as individually. And it's not quite the interaction of the twin soul, a very symmetrical interaction, but the aspect of these interaction are similar, in the sense that we are, you know, you have this infinity loop that forms around two interacting plasmas, and in the middle, the crossing of the two connections between the two souls, we can create different kinds of condition and interactions. And this is an important point to ponder. What kind of interaction do you want to create for this transmission to happen? So these are some pointers and some thoughts to carry out this transmission process within ourselves. And the soul of physicality's complete engagement is important. And this is where I love you, my soul, and all the the phrase that was discussed earlier during the soul connection time, comes into play. I love you, my soul, in totality, not piecewise in a way. So soul of physicality is an equal participant, although it may not be quite ready yet. So in loving, we transmit the necessary energy for it to be completely in harmony with our wishes and our efforts. And it is, in a way, to me, it feels it's easy, but I still cannot completely touch it. There has been improvement by practicing the transmission, but it's right there, but not quite there, if that makes sense. And I'm just giving my experience with this experiment, and I hope it helps those who are attempting similar things. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my dear Moshfik. So beautifully explained. So much help. Thank you. Thank you so, so much. Salam, namaste, salute, my dear.
Okay, if there's nothing else we need to discuss, then we can move to our last position here.
Thank you, my dear Rick. Thank you so, so much. We are here to serve, not to be served. The key as a being we are. And of course, I welcome you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Suswagatam into the beauty and totality of one planet, one nation, one race for justice and world peace. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the beauty of love and peace and enlightenment of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the beautiful, beautiful and beauty of all souls in existence. And all the love, always, dear beautiful souls, for being here, always. So, we love Keshe Foundation. We love each other. We love the cosmos. We love all that is. So, the Universal Council, thank you so much. And salam, namaste, salute.
Okay, thank you very much, Shweta. And of course, thanks to all the members and support members of the Universal Council for presenting today's program, which has been the 415th One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, January 27th, 2026. Our next public teaching workshop will be the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group, and that will start on Wednesday, January 28th at the 7 a.m. Central European Time. And we usually go for several hours discussing and looking at various aspects of the plasma technology. And invite folks that have any questions or things they would like to bring up. That is a good avenue to do that. Again, Wednesday, starting at 7 a.m. Central European Time. Let me see, what else? I think that's it with our announcements. But we will have our final music to go out with here as per
Yes,
usual.
of course.
Pardon, I
Thank you.
have a
Okay.
question. Do you, Rick, ask you if we cannot attend the plasma reactor, is it available on YouTube?
It's not available on YouTube, but it is available now on Vimeo. there is a Vimeo site with the plasma reactor group, and the other videos as well are being uploaded there. So folks can access it there or in the educational site. It's
Okay.
also available.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And the quick reaction is dance, dance, and clap. Quick, quick.
Yes, indeed. It's that
Dance,
time,
dance.
provided the
Enjoy,
video
beautiful
plays.
souls. Thank you, thank you. Clap, clap, and dance. Beautiful.
Yes, we'll take a chance today and have the video play and actually hear the sound. We had trouble with that last time. So thank you,
Sound is
everybody.
necessary. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for being here today. And yes, indeed, let's go out with some clapping and dancing. And again, thank you, everyone, for today's workshop.